Hey guys, today I'm going to be sharing with you my to-be read pile for December and January. You guys, I can't believe we're already at the ends of the year, heading into a new year. Dear God. The years just feel like they keep going by quicker and quicker. So yeah, before I head into my TBR for December and January, my previous TBR went very well, as I always feel. I always feel like I'm a little too ambitious, but I managed to get everything done. Definitely some highs, definitely some lows, and as always, book reviews eventually come out, like video reviews. Video reviews eventually come out on this channel. I do first and foremost get my written reviews up on Goodreads, and yeah, the physical video reviews, they go up like months and months and months and months after the fact, but they will get there eventually. So yeah, let's get to what I plan on reading for the next 2 months. Not too many, because some of these books are larger, but that's okay. I say this all the time. I don't get to reread books as often as I would like to. I love rereading books. I love revisiting authors that I love and enjoy, revisiting worlds and characters. And yeah, ever since I started this channel, which was back in, I think, 2013, you guys. I think I started this channel back in 2013, if I'm not mistaken. Ever since I've started this channel, I have really sorely lacked being able to reread books. A couple years ago, I did do what I called a year of rereading, and each month I reread a book, and I had just such a blast with that. And I've been wanting to redo it again, so I'm sort of doing that this upcoming year. But this upcoming year, what I'm going to focus on, I'm going to literally focus on one specific author that I want to reread each month. And that's going to be Philippa Gregory, you guys. I personally really highly enjoy Philippa Gregory. If you're not familiar with Philippa Gregory, she primarily writes historical fiction. And the books that I am particularly going to be focusing on for my reread are going to be her Tudors and Plantagenet series books. And there's a lot of them. So the vast majority of these books that I'm going to be reading, the vast majority are going to be rereads. But there are also some newer ones in there that I have not gotten around to yet that will be brand new to me. But for the most part, the vast majority will be rereads this year. So yeah, starting in January, I'm going to be rereading the first book in the Tudor Plantagenet series, and that's The Lady of the Rivers, like I said, all by Philippa Gregory. So if you do not know what Lady of the Rivers is about, let me read it to you. When Jacquetta is married to the Duke of Bedford, English regent of France, he introduces her to a mysterious world of learning and alchemy. Her only friend in the great household is the Duke's squire, Richard Woodville, who is at her side when the Duke's death leaves her a wealthy young widow. The two become lovers and marry in secret, returning to England to serve at the court of young Henry VI, where Jacquetta becomes a close and loyal friend to his new queen. The Woodvilles soon achieve a place at the very heart of the Lancaster court, though Jacquetta can sense the growing threat from the people of England and the danger of their royal York rivals. As Jacquetta fights for her king and her queen, she can see an extraordinary and unexpected future for her daughter Elizabeth, a change of fortune, the throne of England, and the White Rose of York. So yeah, this is like kind of the prequel, if you will, to like the War of the Roses. And yet, like, the next books after this are like some of my personal favorite books by Philippa Gregory, which is going to be getting into like the White Queen and the Red Queen and the Kingmaker's Daughter, the White Princess. Like, that whole batch of books right there are like my favorite books. So I cannot wait to like get through this journey of rereading, you guys. So yeah, I'm definitely going to get around to this book at the start of January at some point. Next up, I'm going to read a couple Disney-related themed books, just because. One of them is going to be this book with Hades from Hercules. I love Hercules, you guys, dear God, and Hades is one of the best villains. So yeah, this book is part of the Disney Villains series, and it's essentially like an origin story to the character of Hades. So yeah, what does it say here? Let's see. The myth has been told for centuries. Brothers Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades waged a years-long war against their father Kronos and the tyrannical Titans. Upon their mighty victory, Zeus split the world into three. For himself, he claimed the sky and what fell below it. To his brother Poseidon, he assigned dominion over the sea, and his oldest brother Hades would rule the underworld. While Hades tried to make the best of a lonely situation, eternity proved a long time to be forced to live in a domain he never wanted, shunned by a family he used to love. And the part of the story no one tells is that when your family treats you like a villain, it is far too easy to become one. Years of being ignored and shamed by his family reach a fiery head when three eerie witches find their way into the underworld. Tired of only the dead for company, they aren't exactly the life of the party. Hades befriends these mysterious odd sisters. Dear God, I hate the odd sisters, you guys. Why am I reading this book? And makes a bargain that will change the course of fate. But when you're a god, making a deal with has the potential to rewrite more stories than just your own. Yeah, if you have been watching my reviews at all for the Disney Villain series, I have a very complex love-hate relationship with this series, leaning more towards the hate side of the equation. I literally have only enjoyed a couple books from this series. So I don't know. Hopefully this will be good. Who knows? It's very short and tiny. If it's terrible, it's not going to be much of a waste of my time. I'm going to knock this book out in like 2 days. Next up, I'm going to read the next book in the Twisted Tales series, also put out by Disney, and this is When You Wish Upon a Star. And all of these Twisted Tales books, they ask some sort of what-if question in regards to your favorite classic Disney cartoons, and it twists something in the narrative. So this one is asking, what if the Blue Fairy wasn't supposed to help Pinocchio? As we know from the classic cartoon, the Blue Fairy helps Pinocchio. So yeah, this is what's going to happen to poor Pinocchio if she doesn't help him. Oh my God. He's going to go down a dark path, you guys. He's going to be a angsty, troubled teenager. So let's see, the plot of this one. Starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. So begins the wish that changes everything for Geppetto, the Blue Fairy, and a little puppet named Pinocchio. The Blue Fairy isn't supposed to grant wishes in the village of Pariva, but something about this one awakens some long-buried flicker within. Perhaps it's the hope she senses beneath the old man's loneliness. Or maybe it's the fact that long ago, before she was the Blue Fairy, she was a young woman named Kiara, with a simple wish to help others find happiness. Her sister, Ilaria, always teased her for this, for Ilaria had big dreams to leave their sleepy village and become a world-renowned opera singer. While Ilaria would have given anything to have a fairy grant her wish, Kiara didn't believe in the lore for which their village was famous. 40 years later, Kiara, now the Blue Fairy, defies the rules of magic to help an old friend, but she's discovered by the Scarlet Fairy, dear Lord, formerly Ilaria, oh my, who amid a decades-long grudge holds the transgression against her sister. They decide to settle things through an good old-fashioned bet with Pinocchio and Geppetto's fate hanging in the balance. Will the sisters find a way back to one another, or is this, like many matters of the heart, a gamble that comes with strings, dear God? Poor Pinocchio. Next up, I'm going to read this gigantic beast of a book right here, and this is the latest installment in the Cormoran Strike series by Robert Galbraith, aka J.K. Rowling, unfortunately. But seriously, I freaking love these books. Dear God, I love them. Once again, separate the art from the artist, you guys. So yeah, in the latest installment of Strike, let's see what's happening. I'm so excited. Private detective Cormoran Strike is contacted by a worried father whose son, Will, has gone to join a religious cult in the depths of the Norfolk countryside. The Universal Humanitarian Church is, on the surface, a peaceable organization that campaigns for a better world, yet Strike discovers that beneath the surface there are deeply sinister undertones and unexplained deaths. In order to try to rescue Will, Strike's business partner, Robin Ellicott, decides to infiltrate the cult, and she travels to Norfolk to live incognito among its members, but in doing so she is unprepared for the dangers that await her there, or for the toll it will take on her, dear God. Yeah, my previous TBR, I read the previous book in this series, The Ink Black Heart. I loved The Ink Black Heart, you guys. That is perhaps easily my favorite book in the series so far. So I'm having trouble believing how much I'm going to enjoy this book, because I just do not think it's going to compare whatsoever to The Ink Black Heart. But we shall see. Next up, I'm going to be reading this book right here. I actually won this book through a Goodreads giveaway like a very long time ago. I think back in 2013, maybe? I'm trying to think. Let me see. Is there a date on here? No, 2015. It says that this book was originally supposed to be published in 2015, so I'm guessing I probably won it sometime in 2015. So yeah, it's been a while. This book has just been sitting on my shelves, needing to be read, and so it is. It's an uncorrected proof copy. It's an advanced reader's copy, so I hope there's nothing too terrible in the format of this book. It looks fine. It don't look too insane in here. But yeah, this book, The Gilded Hour by Sarah Donati. What is this book about? I won it so long ago, I don't even remember what it's about, you guys. Let's see. New York City, 1883. So yeah, we're getting like the Gilded Age, you guys. I do love me some Gilded Age, all that rich people drama. It's a time of dizzying splendor, crushing poverty, and tremendous change. With the gravity-defying Brooklyn Bridge nearly complete, and New York in the grips of anti-vice crusader Anthony Comstock, Anna Savard and her cousin Sophie, both graduates of the Women's Medical School, treat the city's most vulnerable, even if doing so may put everything they've strived for in jeopardy. Anna's work has placed her in the path of 4 children who have lost everything, just as she herself once had. Faced with their helplessness, Anna must make an unexpected choice between holding on to the pain of her past and letting love into her life. For Sophie, an obstetrician and the orphaned daughter of free people of color, helping a desperate young mother forces her to grapple with the oath she took as a doctor and thrusts her and Anna into the orbit of Comstock, a dangerous man who considers himself the enemy of everything indecent and of anyone who dares to defy him. Yeah, this is a really gigantic book, you guys. It's almost 750 pages. I'm a little worried about the length of this, so hopefully I have a good time with it. And I do have room for one more book, so I'm going to go to my trusty TBR jar here, you guys, and pull out a book. I neglected to shuffle it prior to filming this video, so I'm just going to kind of dig somewhere in there, not take anything from the top. Because yeah, all my newer books are on the top, and yeah, I want to read something hopefully older. Hopefully, dear Lord. Okay, try not. It's all coming out. It's all coming out. I have a piece of paper stuck on me. Okay, there we go. Okay, this is the exciting part as I unwrap it. What is it? Okay, I'm definitely fairly excited to read this book, but at the same time, it's part of a series. And the way I've kind of been doing my series, I've been like I kind of getting all of the books and then like binging them. But you know what? It don't matter. I'm just gonna go ahead and pick this book out because it's a nice kind of shorter book. It looks like, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab it. Okay, so what I picked out from the TBR jar is this book right here, Royal Blood by Amy Carter. And this is part of a series, as I just said. Maybe you know what, because hopefully I'll just go ahead and read this book, and if I like it, then I could just jump right into the second book whenever it comes out, you know? Yeah, this is a young adult book, if you cannot tell. For some reason, I thought this was like a book about vampires. I don't know, there's something about it that looks very vampirish, but yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with vampires. Yeah, the plot synopsis of this sounded super cool, you guys. As the illegitimate daughter of the King of England, 17-year-old Evan Bright knows a thing or two about keeping secrets. But when she's forced to spend the summer in London with her father and the rest of the royal family, who aren't exactly thrilled that she exists, her identity is mysteriously revealed, and suddenly the world is dying to believe every juicy lie the media tell about her. After a fun night turns deadly, and Evan becomes the primary suspect in a murder investigation, dear God, the escalating rumors and fallout threaten to tear her life apart. As she fights to uncover the truth about what happened, she discovers royal secrets that are even more scandalous than she imagined, secrets that could change the monarchy forever, and her own may be exposed next. And yet says the start of a thrilling new series by Amy Carter that reimagines the modern-day monarchy. Royal scandals just got deadlier. So yeah, this book, I'm definitely getting like hints of like scandal, you know, going on with like Meghan Markle and whatnot. But yeah, a completely, totally different thing, because yeah, this girl is actually like, she's supposed to be an illegitimate daughter and whatnot, and no one knows about her. Yeah, she's thrust into the limelight all of a sudden. Yeah, this sounds pretty cool, you guys. I wish my TBR jar, I wish I would have picked something a little older, because I think this book just came out. When did this book just come out? Didn't it just come out this year? Seriously, let me look. It did. This book came out this year in 2023. Seriously, I wish I would have picked something different, but yeah, whatever I pick, I usually want to go through with what I picked, you know. I don't like just being like, no, I don't want to read this and putting the paper back in the jar, you know. What's the fun and point of that? But I'm still excited to read this. Like I said, I can go ahead and get a head start on reading this. Like I said, I tend to when I get into series, a lot of times I like to collect a whole series and just binge it. So I guess I'll see how this goes, and if I like it, then I can just continue getting the books and enjoying them as I go, you know, rather than being like, oh god, this is a disappointment. So I'll see how it goes, I guess. So you guys, that is it for everything I plan on reading for the next 2 months. I'm definitely really excited about all of these books. Can't wait to get to all of them. If I wasn't excited, you know, what's the point of me buying them in the first place? So that is it for this video. In the comments below, what do you guys plan on reading for the next month or two? Just let me know your thoughts. And yeah, any of these books that you have read or you plan on reading sometime in the future, let me know as well. So that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this video, you may like these other videos. Bye guys.